It's done. It took a month to get this goddamn thing done. It's done. I am so deep, so invested in this thing. It is an absolute labour of love. We're on the way home. Right, I've been rowing. Hi, I'm Roscoe. You're watching Amazing EV. I've just spent this unbelievable amount of time building this website. I am so deep, so invested in this thing. It is an absolute labour of love. Fortunately, it looks great. We are solving problems that we had in relation to the listing of the cars, which turned out to be a major issue. Tom Garn, the ludicrous feed, he nailed it and helped me crack it. Just couldn't reconcile the old problems that we had with the old one. Between the host, the WordPress host, if anyone knows anything about building WordPress sites, between the host's support and the theme support, I just could not get a resolution. So, started from scratch, done. Unbelievable, right? Just couldn't believe it. I had to do that. Complete body, complete new chassis, in motoring terms, everything completely redone. So, unbelievable, but yeah, completely rebuilt, completely redone. It's done. It took a month to get this goddamn thing done. It's done. Final touches now. Still about 50 things on my list. Well, no, about 20 things on my list I've got to get done in the next week. Or posts. Bit of detail in terms of the colour and a million things. No, we're down to the final 20. And I'm glad I did it because it's much better. Much better in terms of the scalability. I feel it's going to scale up much better in terms of the usability from administrators and much better from the clients in. Better display of the cars, better display for buyers, better display for sellers. So really happy with the result. Josephine likes it, and that's the main. She's invested in my time. That's what she's invested in supporting me, and so it's important. Her opinion is very important, and yeah, I've got it. Come out the other end, and fortunately, yeah, she likes it. So, as I said, really happy with the result. I'm really glad I did it because the outcome is fantastic. Traffic's not too bad tonight. We'll head home, and really thrilled. So you'll see that shortly. Really, I'm going to do a complete how-to guide to use the site, so that we've got that as reference, and new users can just follow anything through step by step on the website as well. It'll make it a lot easier. There's still some nuances and still some bits and pieces I'd like to have a bit better. We'd like to have VIN integration, VIN recognition to auto-populate the data fields, but still a bit laborious. But we've really leaned heavily into the data fields and the taxonomy Thor, which is the search fields for the EVs, really focused on getting EVs as a real focus and all the details that are missing in other areas. And really, this time, from this point on, we're going to help sellers sell cars a lot faster. That's the whole point. We're going to make sure we sell cars. We're going to make sure they get noticed. We're going to make sure we help people sell them faster. Whatever I need to do now through this site, with the site as the platform for the listing, through social media, I'm going to make sure people get results and sell cars faster than the competition. That's what we're going to be known for. People are going to come to us, they're going to list with us because they're going to get a result. They're going to see EVs and they're going to get a result faster. Less bullshit, less tyke is more people, more serious buyers, more serious sellers. That's what we're going to aim for. Everything I do now, everything you see on this channel now is going to be about used EVs. We're going to spend some time looking at used EVs, what can go wrong with them. We've got a mechanic lined up, Ed, who's going to have a look at us and going to take us through our Model Y. In fact, we're going to look at my Model Y. Everyone's buying a new Model Y, so a lot of people are selling their old ones, so there's a lot of coming onto the market now. So people got clearly interested in what's going on with Model Ys, what's the problem, what sort of problems they're experiencing. what to look out for. And there isn't a whole lot of things, but there's enough to just make sure that you buy the right one and get a good deal. Because personally, they had virtually no problems at all. But when they've occurred, it's good to know I've got guys like Ed and his team at City Prestige Mechanics and City Prestige Body Repair who are there and have helped me every step of the way. It's been fantastic. You'll meet Darren a bit later on, but we don't have an affiliation with them. But as I guess, good to know, like a local mechanic, you've got a guy that you can trust every time. Tesla's right around the corner as well, and I've had a lot of help from them over the years. But these guys are also Tesla qualified insurance repairers and mechanics. They have done everything that needs to be done on a Tesla. Put them back together, fix them, knock out the dents, and make sure they're all running absolutely perfectly. Then we're going to go back to some of the owners, and we've got Tom from Ludicrous Feed. Again, he's going to talk through his experience selling. He sold 2 cars in the space of a month. Both different models, both different styles, listed with AmazingEV. Didn't end up selling through AmazingEV, but he's going to talk through his experiences and just talk about maybe the importance of price. And we aren't here to tell you how much your car's worth. The market will dictate that. There's plenty of tools out there, including ones that we've got on your site, and we'll spend a bit more time talking about valuing your car as well as part of our service. And when I say valuing, as I say, for me, the market dictates what the price is. They'll tell you. But there's plenty of other cars around, and there's a lot of information being recorded about what's happened to your next to neighbours. Well, the car, very similar car, exactly the same style, at the various echelons of price. What a dealer might trade it for to get a deal, and then retail, which is what we're focusing on in terms of the used car market. Private sellers, who will probably command a little bit more of a premium, and buyers perhaps will pay a bit more. But you can talk to the seller, you can have a look at the records, you can get a battery test, you can take it for a drive, you don't need to go to a car dealership. And we hope to talk to more car dealers as this unfolds, but at the moment our focus is private cars from private owners, first car owner. In many cases, who's had the car from new, right? They've had the car from new, they've been first adopters, they've taken the big risk, they've taken a big hit in many cases, and they've been okay with it. They've been happy-ish because they have enjoyed their EVs. They're okay with buying a car for 70 grand and selling it at 40. Yes, it's disappointing. Yes, they can afford it, but yes, they've been thrilled to be part of that process and the experiment. So we're going to be talking to Tom about his experience, and then doing a lot more work on how to help you get a reasonable idea of what your car might be worth when it does come time to sell, and what you might be able to expect when you list it. Because sometimes that first offer is the best offer, and it's hard to understand how and why, but generally used car prices are decaying as time goes past, and so sometimes that first offer can be the best offer. If you need the money in a hurry, there's also other services as well, which, look, someone will come around and buy your car tomorrow and they'll take it away. There's a whole network of used car dealers who want cars, good quality cars. If you got an old car, you got a nice car, and we can put you in the right direction there. Or if you're trading your EV and you just want to get it, you want to sell it, we don't mind whether you list it or not. We can put you in the right direction there as well. We might get a commission for recommending you. It will be a wholesale price. It'll be a deal break. It'll be a ball breaker. It'll be a tough price. But yeah, it's up to you. we're not going to tell you what to do. You're the boss. You decide you make the deal or not. Up to you entirely. So that's one of the services. We've got to focus on people's ability to do a deal. But talking about new cars, financing is really important, of course, getting finance. And again, we've partnered with a broker who is able to specialize in EV loans. He'll find a good deal for you. And most people come to the party with their own finance arrangement. I've had Volkswagen finance for years across a number of cars, Volkswagens, of course, and Audi first. And then they took up this one on the Tesla. They were more than happy. So look, again, if you've got a financier, you got a bank, credit union, car finance company, go to them, get a good deal. there's still competitive deals as interest rates come down a little bit, well below 10%. There's still a competitive market for finance as well. They're trying to sell you something. You know, you're buying something, you're buying finance, and they're trying to sell you something. So yeah, it's a buyer's market. So, but if you need something, we do have a service where, again, on the website, you can get a quote at the very least, no obligation quote, and find out a bit more. And then, of course, we're going to talk to more and more EV owners, people who've bought EVs, have experienced them, and pass on their experiences with EVs that they own, what it's been like driving them, how they've set it up in their day-to-day living, and dig a bit deeper into particular models so that you'll know a bit more about them on the second-hand market by the time you come and have a look or start to choose a second-hand car, used EV, for your lifestyle. Primarily because it's going to be cheaper, it's going to be reliable, and it's just going to be just about as good after a couple of years, 2 or 3 years, as a brand new car. And we've always said that these first buyers, the early adopters, they've been absolutely fastidious in their care of some of these cars. Yeah, sure. Some of them have been throttled, thrashed like every car, but in many cases, these owners have been fastidious. They've been so careful, they haven't known what to do or how to handle the vehicle. So they've been taking every care possible. And this has been reflected in some of the amazing cars we've seen, that even the 80, 90,000. And these cars are going on and on overseas. They are going on and on and on. And you're going to see a lot more of that around. The penetration rate is still way too low, but the second-hand market is just taking off. And to give you an idea, we'll do some more regular updates and put the EV market, used EV market, into perspective with the new used car market generally. And it's a microcosm. And we're going to do more work with the data that comes out of the Australian Automobile Dealers Association. They collect data every month. They know exactly how many cars are sold. They love to count it. They've got a team of people counting it, and they love to report it. It's up and down like every other market, but they love to keep an eye on what's going on. And broadly, it's about double the size of the new car market. So for cars, something like 15 years and under, 10 years and under, something like that, new cars, because remember the average age of a used car in Australia, believe it or not, is only about 12 years. Yes, everyone's got a story of car, their Mercedes, they've had since 1983, I know. But generally, broadly, across the board, on average, a used car only has a life. We don't think EVs will be any less. Batteries, mechanicals, whatever, ownership, falling apart, rusting apart, whatever, you name it, blowing up. We think it'll be at least about the same. If anything, the used car market, used EV market is slower to take off because people aren't trading. They're keeping them longer. There's no problems. They are keeping the cars probably a little bit longer. Stats aren't out yet on that, but my guess is that they're keeping them a bit longer. But about 24 or 25,000 used EVs will be sold, changed hands this year, and probably about half of them will be dealers and about half of them will be private sellers. Amazingly, and through some quirk of the counting, I'm not questioning the counting. All I can tell you about stats is at least they're consistent at the moment. I don't know if they're 100% reliable, but they are consistent. So they've been keeping these numbers for a long, long time. They've added EVs into the mix more recently. At least they are consistent. I don't know if they're 100% accurate, but you can see what's the most popular used car in Australia. You can see the ones that are growing ones, how many days it takes to sell every single model, how many days on average it takes. Clearly, the longer it takes, the slower the market. Sold cars versus cars in stock, all the data is kept. And we're going to pick into the EV market specifically, and we're going to take our focus is going to be specifically on EVs, not hybrids, just pure EVs. No, sometimes they just don't want to let you in. And we're going to help used EV sellers get a result faster. I'll do everything I possibly can to make sure you get a deal faster. Let's sign off now there. There's plenty of food for thought. Been a long one, but that's what we're going to cover. Can't wait to bring it to you. More stuff, more used EV stuff, more focus on used EV.